My name is Doug Coupland, and I work as a writer, as an artist, as a designer, as a typographer. So that's what I do. I grew up in West Vancouver, which along with North Vancouver in the 70s, it was Brady Bunch houses on every corner, and every family had 3 or 4 kids, and I just wanted to get away from all that. So I took the blue bus downtown. I think it was like 20 cents. And on Saturdays, it was my ritual. There's Chinatown, there was the Bay Cafeteria, and the stamp store at the Hudson Bay Company, and then I would go to the art gallery. That was sort of the final treat of the day, going in there. Sometimes on a Saturday, I wasn't so lucky, and I had to go to places with my dad, and he was just like an action adventure hero. He did like everything. He flew jets, he was a surgeon, and he kept cattle out in the Fraser Valley, and like, oh my God, cows are boring. And I just wanted to be back in the city. And then at the art gallery, in the stairwell going down from the main level, there were these 6 prints by Roy Lichtenstein, and it was a bull, which was a dead ringer for Greenville Brown, the bull out in the valley. It gave me a boost to make sense of the farm and making it somehow interesting. I think like the bull series is art history of the 20th century, just sort of like squished into like one set of 6 prints. And it does it with it's sort of icy precision. And I think a lot of pop art maybe did that too. But also to look at it, the way it goes from clip art pictorial into 5 different levels of abstraction, I think that really went deep inside me. That's when I went pop, and I think I've been pop ever since. And I think the thing about pop is that once you're pop, you can never look at the world the same way again. I like the optimism of pop art. I mean, I also like Warhol's car crashes, what have you, but it was the bull that was the key that started everything. I mean, when I'm writing, especially the slogan pieces that are in this show, it's trying to take a lot of information from all aspects of culture and squish it into this one statement. There was this hipster place out on Hastings called the Waldorf Hotel, and it was a lot of fun for a while. And back in 2012, YouTube was just becoming a thing. And YouTube, what's YouTube? And so we had a YouTube night with Doug at the Waldorf Hotel, and the guy said, like, well, we need posters. Okay, and they had this guy who wheat pasted them up on the hoarding. So what would make total sense to someone right now, but no sense at all to someone 10 years ago? And that's always sort of been the rule. And I used their house font. It's called Knockout. It's a sans serif. Made them big, 'cause it's Vancouver and everyone's driving by in a car. And I brought them with me, and they're like, did you write these? I'm like, yes, it's kind of what I do. And the very first one was this one, I Miss My Pre-Internet Brain. And I think it remains the #1 classic of all of them. I got involved in computing way back in like early '93 when I was working at Wired. But after you're in that digital environment, you are a different person, and there's no going backwards. So when I said I miss it, my pre-internet brain, I do, but I no longer remember my pre-internet brain. There's no going back when it comes to speed and efficiency with whatever tech you have in your life. But I think the link between the bull and the slogans, again, it's reduction, editing, abstraction, until you get something at the very, very end, which makes you think very hard about what came before. What did the original bull look like? I mean, what if they'd sequenced these things the other way with the real one at the bottom? I guess that's because we read left to right in our culture. What if they were arranged in salon style? That would be a different experience, but the bulls on the wall, it was like a comic book. The slogans that are in this exhibition, they're 32 of, I think, 110 or so. And I mean, they all work, but these ones seem to a little bit more than the others talk about the present moment, questioning democracy itself. And so a lot of the slogans and the presentation here, they come from an era where time existed. And the show they were part of was anywhere is anything is everything. And there was this sense that everything was blurring into everything else, which continues. And, maybe we'll look back at the 20th century as this never to be re-experienced anomaly. When the Vancouver Art Gallery does retrospectives, they ask the artist to make a multiple that can be sold out of the gift shop. And I'll be honest, like most of the time, I like gift shops more than I like the museum or what's on the walls. And so I thought, well, I'm 6 foot whatever, and reduce, and just taking the 4x8 stud blocks, which are the most used in the Lego universe. And yes, there is a Lego universe, and made them my height and just encased them in plexi. And nothing makes something look more like art than plexiglass around it or in front of it. And I like it because it's me, it's not representational, or is it? And for that first batch of them, I worked with friends in the adult Friends of Lego community to find all the colors of that brick they'd ever made. Lichtenstein's prints, they are so perfectly done, and they're not digital, which I like. And the craftsmanship of them, I think if they were blurry or if they had texture, it would wreck them. I think it could only work if everything was pristine, and that's with the Lego self-portrait inside. There's no blurring. It's real world, but it's not analog. And then with the slogans, they're just colored like the colors of paper you get at Staples or something like that. Random is fine. Last night I was watching a documentary on David Bowie, who, also anyone who likes pop art likes David Bowie. And he said, the whole Ziggy Stardust phase was only 18 months. That's all it ever was. And yet it became a placeholder for a decade. And maybe that's one of the functions of art. It's just like, it's a timestamp. Boom,